I am an unlucky guy who even gets struck by lightning when I go to the temple to worship. However, despite being a victim of bad luck, I not only did not die, but I was blessed to have gained the ability to see through the ages. I bought an inkstone for $50 and sold it for $1 million. However, I was not willing to spend even a cent on myself, but generously gave out $630,000 to help a classmate in emergency. Then I came back to the antique market to rekindle my business. Soon I discovered a set of 640-year-old ancient jade. Then I asked the boss how to sell it. Upon seeing this, the boss immediately started talking nonsense. Little brother, good eyesight. Do you know King Gojian? This thing was dug up from next to him. If you are sincere, you will give me $400,000 and take it away. I didn't argue with him and directly quoted my psychological price, $300,000. You sell or not? To my surprise, the boss immediately agreed to the deal happily. Watching me walk towards the treasure house with the jade, the boss showed a sinister smile. At this time, a colleague walked up to the boss and said, "It's a broken thing worth $20. You really sold it for $300,000. I admire you." In a short while, I walked out of the treasure house scratching my head. Then the young lady expressed that the set of jade holes was very liked by Mr. Chen. "Here is a check for $1 million. Please receive it." Upon seeing this scene, the boss was shocked and immediately collapsed. At that moment, the noise from not far away caught my attention. Upon closer inspection, it turned out to be two people haggling over the price. The aunt indicated that this painting is worth $50,000 and cannot be sold for a penny less. However, the young man was only willing to offer $300. Upon seeing this, I immediately approached the aunt to ask if I could see the painting. The aunt said it was okay to see it, but not to haggle. However, when I opened the painting, I was surprised to find that there were more than one halo on it. Sure enough, it's a good thing. I took this painting for $50,000. The onlookers saw that I really bought this painting, and they all expressed that I am a fool. Apparently, I spent $50,000 to buy a fake painting. For such a common man, I naturally will not pay attention. Then I walked directly into the treasure appraisal shop. At this time, the boss who just sold me the jade called me. "Listen to brother's advice. This painting is not even worth $50. Don't go find an old man and bring shame upon yourself." I smiled and said, "Why don't we bet on it? If this painting is worth money, you return me the $300,000 you earned from selling jade. If it's not worth money, I will return the $700,000 I earned from you." The boss immediately agreed to this bet. "Let's bet. I'm not afraid of you losing." Then I gave this painting to Chen Old Man for appraisal. However, when Chen Old Man saw the painting, he said helplessly, "Zhang Feng, you were really taking advantage of this time. This painting has an unusual style and lacks spirit. It is really a fake." The boss immediately approached and said, $700,000. Bring it to me." Although I was panicked inside, I acted calm and said, "Don't worry, I won't default. Let me look at this painting again." However, when I opened this painting again, I was surprised to find the hidden mystery in this painting. At this time, the boss who bet with me grabbed my ancient painting and said, "Kid, do you want to default?" As agreed, the fake painting, you give me $700,000. Bring it to me. When little Shue saw this, she immediately came forward to advise me not to get excited. I quickly pushed her to the side and said, "Little Shue, stay away. Don't hurt you." Suddenly, I felt something was wrong. Just felt soft in my hand. Before I could figure out the situation, a slap was on my face. Only saw little Shue shouting, "Where do you touch me?" I can only say that this girl has great strength. Even my antique painting was broken by this slap. Then another painting fell out from inside. Everyone was shocked and pale. It turned out to be a painting within a painting. Chen Old Man eagerly ran over to check the situation. After a careful observation, Chen Old Man said with a surprised look, "Zhang Feng, we are so familiar. Give uncle some face. What do you think of $5 million? At this moment, I couldn't help but feel a sense of dark joy. I am entering the upper class society, right? Deal. I will do it according to your will." Then I said with a cunning smile, "Zhang boss, you haven't forgotten our bet, right? $300,000. Bring it on." After coming out from Chen Old Man, I decided to buy a house first, so I came to the sales center. The sales girl immediately introduced the house type to me. However, when she looked at my clothes, she immediately put on a condescending attitude. "This is a famous villa area in the whole city, starting from $4 million, must be purchased in full and no discount. Are you sure you didn't walk into the wrong door?" Looking at her low-eyed attitude, I instantly lost the desire to buy a house. Just as I turned to leave, the sales girl behind me teased mercilessly, "How funny. Looking at your poverty, it's obvious that you're here just to enjoy the air conditioning. What kind of rich guy are you pretending to be? Wasting my time." Upon hearing this, I chuckled and said, "Young lady, don't be so sharp-tongued. Just because I'm not buying doesn't mean I can't afford to." But she still continued with her harsh words. "What's wrong with you? Looking at your poverty, you actually treat this as your rightful place to be?" It seems this logic cannot be explained to her. Well, let's use our actions to speak then. Outraged, I slammed my card on the front desk and shouted, "Swipe the card. Buy a house." At this moment, the sales girl behind me spoke in a sinister tone. "Lily, quickly check this poor guy's card balance. I want to see how he's going to end this." But when she saw the balance on my card, the sales girl's expression suddenly changed 180 degrees. Then, she made a 90-degree bow and apologized to me. However, I said with a disdainful face, oh yeah, I don't accept your apology. Your villas here are too expensive. I'll go check out somewhere else." And with that, I walked out of the door without looking back. At that moment, a voice behind me suddenly called me. The young lady came up and stated that she wasn't selling houses. She asked if I had any thoughts about renting a villa. I originally wanted to refuse, but I couldn't resist the young lady's enthusiasm. Later, she took me me to the villa area. Under the young lady's encouragement, I rented this villa. After signing the contract, she said I could go to the sales office to receive a gift. Then I went back to the sales office with her. But as soon as I got to the entrance, I heard the salesperson's catchphrase, "Don't waste my time if you can't afford a house." Then the two of them had a physical confrontation. Watching her bullying a beautiful young lady, my damn sense of justice burst out at that moment. I quickly shouted, "Let go of that girl." Unexpectedly, that young lady suddenly ran and hugged me. She was muttering, "Husband, she is bullying me." Upon hearing this, I was shocked and turned pale. I quickly said, "Are you mistaken? I don't know you." Suddenly, she leaned close to my ear and whispered, "Did you forget me after graduation?" Xiao Mei. Hearing this name, I was shocked on the spot. In high school, during a sports meet, I was hit by a shot put in my left foot. Fortunately, Wei Qian, the class monitor, took me to the hospital in time. She would visit me whenever she had free time. After spending some time together, Wei Qian fell in love with me uncontrollably. When she confessed to me, I was so shocked that I rolled off the bed and broke my right foot. What a misfortune. Since then, Wei Qian has always called me Xiao Mei. At this moment, I finally remembered everything. "Wei Qian, is it really you? How have you been these years?" I was shocked that I actually forgot about her. Wei Qian grabbed my ear and said, "Xiao Mei, you don't even recognize your own wife." After a chat, I brought her to the newly rented villa. To my surprise, Wei Qian proposed to rent together. She saw that I was doing well now and asked where I was working. I said in a low voice, "It's not like I'm working somewhere high up. I just go to the antique city to buy things online when I'm bored. See, I'm in the antique business." Wei Qian quickly asked me to help her see her big baby. When I heard this, I was shocked. "What big baby?" I saw that she took off the jade Buddha around her neck. "Let me help her see." I used my golden pupils to look at it. A 1,000-year-old aperture appeared impressively on the jade Buddha, was given to her by her stingy father. She couldn't help but wonder if it was a street vendor's item. I quickly explained that the jade Buddha had 1,000 years of history and should have a high value. Then Wei Qian asked me to sell the jade Buddha for her. I felt that the atmosphere was a little off, so I immediately suggested we go out for a meal to celebrate our reunion after so long. After the meal, Wei Qian and I went to a car dealership. Living in a villa without a car was indeed inconvenient, but as soon as we entered, I met an old acquaintance. This person was named Goda Takeshi. He was my elementary school classmate. During school, he was arrogant and bullying because he matured early. I also received a beating from him when I was young. I then asked him the price of that car. I saw him put on an act of a big boss and said, $410,000. We don't offer installment plans. Do you have the spending power? I said with a confused look. I saw on the internet that it was only $30,000 with discounts. Before I could finish my sentence, he snatched my phone and threw it into a bowl of soup. Then he ran to Wei Qian and started speaking badly about me. Wei Qian was not intimidated by him and warned him that if he dared to speak badly about me again, she would not be polite. As a cultured person, I did not start a conflict with him. Instead, I placed a box of money on his desk, which was a total of $2 million. After seeing this scene, the salesman suddenly froze in place. Then he warmly started to introduce the car model to me. However, I walked away without looking back, and I go to the next door dealership. Then I fully paid for a BMW car. After sending Wei Qian home, I received little Shua's call. She said that her grandfather, Bai Old Man, wanted to see me. Bai Old Man is a big shot in the antique world. Why would he suddenly want to see me, a little guy? Could it be that my inquiry about treasure auction attracted his attention?